Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. You know, it's already priced in that we will not get a cut. 99.9% chance we're not going to get a cut. Okay. So we're not going to get one. But that's not why people are going to be tuning in. They want to hear, his thoughts during the Q&A session, his thoughts about the next one. And the next one, meaning like the next FOMC meeting in July, which now there's a 14% chance of a cut, and then the one in September. And what about the ones after that? Because he originally stated that he wants to do 2 cuts this year. So is the first one will come in September, and what about the next one? And, is he going to stay with that schedule? Is he going to decrease it, increase it? What does they think about oil prices? What do they think about the war? What is that going to do to inflation? Because obviously oil prices going up is not a good thing. It makes everything more expensive. It's going to add to the inflation. And the tariff situation isn't over. A lot of the extended deadlines are about to come to an end. And, again, all this, one on top of another, on top of another. I don't know. I don't want to be this guy. I do not want to be this guy. I did not envy Powell. He's going to be asked some difficult questions. And he has to really tiptoe around what he says. He can't really just say what's on his mind, because if he did, markets would tank to hell. So he has to tiptoe around what he says too. But we'll see. It's going to be an important one, guys. And it's coming around 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's usually around then. That's when it comes out. 2:30 Eastern, 1:30 Central. Okay? We'll see. Doesn't have to be bad, though. I know it sounds all bad. But what he says could be interpreted good, because maybe under pressure of Trump, under pressure of war, or just under pressure of everything, his legacy. Maybe he turned dovish. And he's like, you know what? Despite all these things, I'm more inclined to cut sooner than later. I don't want things to get out of control. He could say some good things. He hasn't in the past. He hasn't really been that dovish. But maybe now he will. And it's in the best interest for the nation for him to cut too. The U.S. will save a whole bunch of money on new bonds issuance, and, Americans will save a whole bunch of money on, say, homes and cars and everything else in between. I don't know. Maybe he says good stuff. Who knows? We just have to wait a few more hours to find out. All right. What else is there? Well, speaking of Bitcoin, like I've been saying, Bitcoin is holding strong. Because you have so many people that believe, and so many companies now FOMOing in. You have DDC Enterprise secures $528 million to expand Bitcoin holdings. Again, every single day you hear about this. Every single day you hear about something else. You have another Bitcoin-related company called Fold Bitcoin. Secures $250 million, plans on expanding their Bitcoin treasury. I mean, again, come on. The blockchain group purchased another $20 million in Bitcoin. Does this sound familiar? K33 to buy 1,000 Bitcoins after raising $8 million. Coincilium raises $4 million. Or will raise $4 million after a 400% demand overload to Bitcoin purchase offering, right? This is the reason why Bitcoin is so strong. Yeah, we have these little dips now. Yeah, we fell down from 109 to 104. Yeah, we have these little dips, but certainly not as volatile as the 2021 or previous dips where we saw minus 10%, minus 15% all the time. Beforehand, even worse than that, minus 30% dips. The reason why, with all this going on, there are so many that are turning in Bitcoin. because of all the bad things that's going on, because of inflation, because of war even, because of financial instability, everything. People are now starting to believe that this is the right path rather than just go all in on cash, which does no one good, or go all in on gold, which takes decades to see gains. The best thing is Bitcoin. That's the reason. Here's another one. Bitmine, which is, a big... Is this the same one? Oh no, I was thinking about Bitmain. I'm sorry. I was thinking about Bitmain, but Bitmine. But this is New York. This is a public trade company too on the New York Stock Exchange. Okay, purchased $16 million for the Bitcoin. Endless. We get used to Sailor and Metaplanet buying like 100 million or $1 billion of the Bitcoin every week, but these smaller companies, their purchases are adding up too. And now Bitcoin, here's an interesting stat, is 1.3% of the global money out there. 1.3%. That's so small. That's so small, but yet significant. It's not like 0.13%, not even 0.3%. It's over 1%. But if you look at it, man, we got long ways to go to even catch up to gold or fiat in general. And this doesn't even count like other things, other assets, like real estate and stuff like that. We're getting up there. You don't want to wait until Bitcoin's like 10% of the global money supply. Then Bitcoin will be at over $1 million each. Okay, you don't want to wait for that to happen. You want to accumulate as much as you can beforehand. And here's something else too. If you look at the bear markets, the last 2 cycles, you saw activity go down. Like active addresses really go down, right? It makes sense. A lot of people get out and so forth. Right now, we're not seeing that. We're seeing addresses go up, despite the fact that Bitcoin's price has been steadily climbing because of institutions. Retail, still hasn't really come into the game, but we're starting to see that change. We're starting to see an upward trend. So if we combine retail with institutions, that would be great. That's what we want to see. We also have this inverted head and shoulders pattern that we may be completing soon. And if so, that's how we get to our next leg up. Yeah, so looking forward to it. Today, the FOMC meeting, that could be big one way or another. It could be good or bad, or it could be neutral too. I don't know what Powell's going to say. I really don't. I would not want to be him.